I think that we have to redefine what parent involvement is. And oftentimes, when I speak about parent engagement, I talk about parent empowerment. First and foremost, I think that the way we define parent involvement has to change. And so, helping parents understand that it doesn't always mean that you come to the school district. We actually have hired parent liaisons, and they actually go to homes, they do home visits, they also convene our parent university, and they also help our families navigate our special education systems.
You're listening to the smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ochs. This is our District Talk segment where we interview district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday shine online. Now, let's get back to the interview.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Valicia Cade. I am the proud Chief Executive Officer and Superintendent of the Capital School District, which is located in the capital city of the first state. That is Dover, Delaware. We provide services and supports to about 6,800 students, and we have about 1,500 staff that we also work with to empower our parents to ensure that we're advancing educational excellence through innovation.
Excellent. It's so good to have you here today. Now, let's talk a little bit about your district. What are some really exciting achievements or accomplishments as a district that you've had over the past 6 to 24 months?
I am coming off of a roller coaster. This past weekend, our boys varsity team won the state championship, which we haven't won in over 20 years. So our community is up in arms over this great victory. Our unified basketball team of our students who have IEPs also won the state championship. And so we're in the process of planning a parade, but we're also the proud home of one of our state's blue ribbon elementary schools, North Dover Elementary School, received the blue ribbon for academic excellence. We are also one of our governor's compassionate champions. We're a district that focuses on building an infrastructure that supports trauma informed care for our students and our families and our staff. And so, those are just some of the things that we're doing. We're also the only school in the first state to be a part of the National League of Innovative Schools and to have the very first Verizon Innovative Learning Schools on our brand new $113 million interconnected middle school campus and our Dover High School, which is the sapphire of the first state.
That's impressive. You must be so proud. And congratulations on the basketball team as well.
Yeah,
That's really, really big. Several decades. Congratulations. Now, we
absolutely.
at Smart Social are really into how technology supports students and how we can keep it safe so students can someday shine online and get that amazing career and a great college and everything else while using these digital tools. I want to dive in, Doctor, for just a moment. What are some ways that maybe your school district is using technology or resources to enhance student learning and engagement? I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about how you're doing that so we can inspire other school districts.
Absolutely. As a Verizon Innovative Learning Schools, one of the first things we know that is pivotal to advancing technology is to actually get the devices in students' hands. But we're very fortunate that through Verizon, we were able to receive internet enabled devices for every student and every instructional staff member at our New Dover Middle School campus and school. And so we are a one to one district, like many districts during the pandemic and after the pandemic. We were able to accelerate our opportunities to close digital inequity in terms of access to devices. And so, through the Verizon Innovative Learning Schools, we also are in the forefront of integrating technology use into our classrooms and focusing on advancing educational innovation through technology use to look at how we use STEM tools that advance science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But one of, I think, the highlights is that our students have an opportunity to get more involved in robotics. We're rebuilding that infrastructure, and that's exciting. We have a drone club. We have a technology team of students that travel across the district to help us with capturing digital information and codifying it in a way that is pleasing to students. I think that in our new Dover Middle School campus, we really have state of the art access. So we're really on the front end in terms of advancing educational innovation in our district, but we're in the process of integrating tools like School Joy, which we're in the process of building out an open AI tool for our staff. So we're going to build sort of like an open AI tool. However, it'll be specifically focused on our instructional framework, evidence based tools that we've selected based on interests that our students and our staff have. So I think that's exciting. And we also have a really powerful parent piece that's underway too, that's incorporating aspects of technology too.
Now, we want to inspire other school districts to learn from you. And so I want to dive into something that's common nationwide. We've heard with um, chief executive officers like yourself, superintendents, directors, and really just district leaders. We're all here for one cause to make sure these kids in the future are resilient, well balanced, well rounded, and ready to launch into their future while keeping them safe. Now, what advice would you have for other school districts to deal with social media issues that may originate on a social media app, but then, doctor, they create a very real problem on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. I think districts across our nation are grappling with this. Most of the incidents that we have, they start somehow on social media. So I would say, first and foremost, don't try to ban social media, but try to embrace it and integrate it into a use in a positive way. One of the things is have the kids do TikToks about important subject matters, incorporate it into how we learn in classrooms. So we are actually building out a parent university that focuses on supporting learning in the digital age so that we can begin to educate our families about cyber security, but good digital citizenship as the foundation for keeping our children safe. And so I would say the most important thing is that a lot of people are fearful of technology. It's not technology that's going to take over the world, but it's the people who know how to use the technology that's going to take over the world. So I'm going to say my best advice is embrace the technology, learn about it, figure out a way on how to integrate it in a positive way to advance learning for students and adults.
Yeah, very well said. Excellent. Okay, so let's dive into the positive side of social media now. Can you provide some examples of how perhaps your students have used their social media in a positive or productive way that's benefited themselves or their community?
We've allowed our students to develop TikToks on different subject matters. For example, I think it was Dating Violence Awareness Week in February. And so our students did go on social media, on lives, and talk about the importance of being able to recognize when you're in an unhealthy relationship, right? Also, for our Teacher of the Year celebrations, it is our student tech team that makes the video. So they travel across the district to capture our candidates for Teacher of the Year, and then they create the video based on a theme that we have. So I would say those are two examples of positive ways that our students are using social media. Also, just to get information out in a more positive way. Our students are in the forefront of that. Of course, we're working with our student tech team as a part of our Verizon Innovative Learning Grant.
That's great. Now, let's move on to another subject, doctor. What suggestions might you have for parents to encourage their students, their kids, their children to use technology in a positive way, not only in the classroom, but also at home?
We know that in this digital age that we're all connected, and the internet provides information at our fingertips, and helping young people understand how to distinguish between valid information and information that's not valid is a key part of our work in 21st century learning environments. So we do have our parent university that we've launched, our Senator Parent University that focuses on supporting learning at home in the digital age. And so helping our parents understand how to encourage their students how to use social media healthy and how they monitor their students' use of social media. As a part of one of our partnerships that we've been in discussion with is a organization called Springboard Collaborative. And what they do is they focus on parent empowerment programs. And so we're in the process of actually piloting a tool that will allow our parents to use technology to create positive habits of how young people use these small 15-minute tutorials, right? To and accelerate literacy growth and development. And so through that, I think is a positive way that we're teaching parents how to use technology to support learning and connecting school and home. And also through our parent university, just helping parents understand the dynamics of how technology can be used in a safe way at home. One for learning, two for socializing, and I think the two interconnected.
Doctor, that parlays perfectly into my next question, actually. You mentioned the phrase parent university, which those of you who are listening or watching at home, many of you know a parent university is usually a parent night event, bringing parents up to speed on the latest and greatest ways to support their kids, their family, to integrate with the school district, and so on. My next question for you, Doctor, is what are your suggestions for other school districts to increase parent engagement?
I think that we have to redefine what parent involvement is. And oftentimes, when I speak about parent engagement, I talk about parent empowerment. First and foremost, I think that the way we define parent involvement has to change. And so, helping parents understand that it doesn't always mean that you come to the school district. We actually have hired parent liaisons, and they actually go to homes, they do home visits, they also convene our parent university, and they also help our families navigate our special education systems. They also help our families navigate external resources that have to do with maybe food insecurity, homelessness, Department of Health and Social Services. And so I think redefining what parent involvement looks like is pivotal. So we also have these workshops that we'll provide that they'll be virtual, they'll be in person, but every school principal has been assigned a parent liaison. And what we try to do is identify those students and families who may have extenuating risk indicators, like maybe a student who isn't coming to school, or maybe a student that we know is involved in McKinney-Vento. And then we pair that family and that child with our parent liaison to help them navigate systems and to be their sort of advocate so that we can help them to help us with their kids reaching their dreams and their goals.
So well said. And really, it sounds like a neat program. Let me ask you this to inspire other districts. Are there any specific channels or events that get the biggest turnout in your community that maybe others could learn from? Is it, hey, when we email or maybe we text message, or perhaps we have people hand out flyers? What are some of the ways you're best able to communicate with parents? And then what are some of the things that get the most engagement or the most turnout that you think?
So I think that first and foremost, in terms of communicating with parents, one of the things that I'm really excited about is a new tool that we purchased called Talking Points. And what Talking Point does is it allows us to speak to parents who may not have English as their first language. And so it will allow us to text to a parent in English. And then if that parent is Spanish speaking, they'll receive that information in Spanish or, French or Haitian Creole. And so I think we've been very successful with our school messenger in terms of sending out voice messages, texting and talking points. We also have a tool called Class Dojo that we utilize, and we also send home emails. So those have been really great ways for us to expand our reach and interactions with parents, and also the home visits, right? That our parent liaisons do to those families where we don't have correct information to contact families. It's pivotal. I think the most important way to approach parent involvement is from the school level. Parents are most connected to their child's school community. And so we do have a district wide parent resource center that we've opened, but we also have various community centers and partnerships with different organizations in our community. One of our community centers that we have associated with a church, in which many of our families who are impacted by homelessness. And so those families, we interact with them through that church, and they're able to go to that community center. They can wash their clothes. We have produce and foods that are not just canned goods, that families, meats and produce like fruit that they can access. We have brand new clothing through Souls for Souls. We did receive over 1,000 pair of brand new shoes to provide to our families. And so through those community organizations and community groups that our parents trust, we've been able to foster those community based resource centers along with our parent resource center, along with our parent liaisons going out to families. But I would say that the most successful way to engage families is through their school. So we also look at the parent PTAs and the PTOs organizations and how we share that information, how we bring information to those parents. Also, of course, we'll have a town hall meeting occasionally. Last year, we had a really successful event with our multi-language learner parents in which we have ESL course classes that are offered at one of our elementary schools. And so what we did was we had the night that they had International Food Fest, and so we did come to the ESL program, brought information about talking points, information about our parent universities, surveyed our parents on what they felt would be workshops or things that would help them with supporting their children in learning at home. And so we did that through existing structures that we have, our ESL program that takes place every Monday through Thursday at one of our elementary schools. And so I would also say our most successful events is when students are performing, students are receiving awards, sporting events. We oftentimes during the halftime provide information and engage families that way.
There's a lot of great things going on there. Now, I want to hear from you as a district leader to inspire other district leaders. What is your single biggest social media concern for the future?
I think my biggest concern about social media in the future is that if we don't begin to understand how to use it to advance positive things that happen in our school community, then it will continue to be a disrupting force that is the springboard for disruption in our school communities. And so I think the whole TikTok dares is one thing. Typically, we have students on Instagram or Snapchat that are extending their opportunities to bully other students. And so helping people to understand the potential of social media's integration in a positive way in the learning environment in 21st century learning environments is pivotal to our ability to eradicate social media's role currently as being a disruptive force that's bringing a lot of conflicts into schools.
So well said. I have one last question for you, and I'm so grateful for you here today. And those of you listening or watching from around the world, thank you so much for your support of smartsocial.com as we host our parent evening events nationwide for our partner school districts. So there's no longer hiring somebody to like me to fly out to your city, but now we can do weekly events that engage parents in both English, Espanol, Mandarin, and all kinds, about a dozen other languages, both in audio and text. Thank you to our supporting school districts nationwide who are allowing our army of research parents to do the research for school districts and to put real teens in the videos. So shout out to all of them and shout out to my incredible team who are doing a great job. Now, Doctor, I have one last question for you. How is your school district approaching AI tools like Chat GPT?
We just completed our strategic planning work in May of 2023. And so we've rolled out our strategic plan and our new vision, which is advancing educational excellence through innovation. And within that commitment of launching this era of advancing educational excellence through innovation, we are focusing on a bottom up, top down approach around change, right? And so right now, I have what we call value innovation partners that we partner with. And these value innovation partners are strategic intentional partnerships that help us to advance our new strategic direction. And sometimes that is helping us to deal with the non academic barriers that often impede on our ability to make progress, right? So, a lot of the community resource centers and, dealing with issues with the SEL and homelessness and holistic needs of students, right? So, that's one part. Another part of this work has to do with us through the Digital Promise League of Innovative Schools, being able to bring on various different pilots that we allow our staff to opt into, right? So you've got that bottom up opportunity and then top down opportunities like the whole Verizon Innovative Learning Schools. That's a top down process in which we received $6.9 million and access to these internet enabled devices and two coaches to help us further this work. And so I think that the best way to proceed in terms of bringing innovation into schools is to build that groundswell, right, of innovation. While through the League of Innovative Schools, we have the opportunity to learn from other schools that are ahead of us in this process of creating 21st century learning environments and to find strategically the entry points to integrate technology. So we are in the process with School Joy and having conversations to build out an open AI program that is customized, that looks at our instructional materials, the common core standards that we use, our curriculum maps, and we'll drop that into a tool that will collect information from our students and our staff will be able to generate lesson plans that are specific to the evidence-based strategies that we've vetted and accepted as a district and our instructional material, right? So that's really powerful. And then on the other part, in terms of using AI, I'll go back to Springboard Collaborative with the tool that they're developing and piloting, that we're about to jump on board with this tool. Because what happens is they collect data that meets each student where they are in terms of their learning instructional level and their interest, and it will develop decodable books that sort of capture the kids' interest and sort of looks like the kids and develop these 15-minute short-term tutoring sessions that focus on advancing literacy skills. So those are two of the things that we're doing in terms of using chat gpt. I use ChatGPT as a thought partner when I'm writing letters. I use it to sort of have a second eye to help with developing it more seamlessly. And I'm encouraging my staff, my parents, and my students to also be involved in learning more about how we can use these tools to get back more time to develop relationships and to ensure that teachers can do more explicit instruction in small groups.
Doctor, you are so eloquent in the way you describe the goals, the values, and the achievements of your community. Congratulations on all the success. I'm thankful for your time here today so we can inspire other district leaders.
Thank you so much. Listen, Josh, I'm excited about your podcast and the work that you're doing. I just want to thank you for giving me this platform, but more importantly, thank you for all of the lives that you're transforming as we continue to pioneer this new 21st century learning environment. We have to do it collaboratively with our families, with our school educators, and with our leadership in our community, and of course, with our administrators. So thank you for providing me with this platform.
Bravo. Thank you so much. To the rest of us listening right now, we have free ChatGPT classes every single month. And what it does for you parents, if you're listening, is it turns you into a homework hero. We all know that calculus is not easy. If you've been out of school more than 3 years, it gets hard. And if your kids are coming home with algebra, calculus, anything else, ChatGPT and all these other AI tools that are as low as $20 a month or free can become the world's most powerful tutor. When we were kids, we had to pay a lot of money. Now it is free to maybe $20. And we show you on a monthly basis how you as a parent can use this to become the homework hero. You can sit next to your kid, take a picture of the problem, and it doesn't give you the answer. It shows you how it finds the answer. Then it arrives at the answer. We want to make you into that homework hero, parents, superintendents, directors, and all of you amazing heroes that work with kiddos. We want to guide you on how you can use technology to keep students safe so they can shine online. I hope you join one of our 54 to 65 events that we have a year. All of our stuff is in multi languages because I no longer want to fly to your city. I'd rather deliver it over a marathon instead of a sprint, meaning that we want every single week to engage parents where they're at. There are replays in their native language and wherever they want to go, whether it's on phone, desktop, or tablet. Thank you to everybody at my amazing team, a dozen people at smartsocial.com who are keeping students safe so they can shine online. And thanks to our amazing guests. We'll see all of you on the next episode. Have a wonderful day. And remember to keep it light, bright, and polite because your kids are watching. Take care. Thanks for listening to our smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ochs. This was our District Talk segment where we interview school district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday launch into their future by shining online. This episode was brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP program. It's called the Very Informed Parent Program, which helps you engage your students with teen-led video lessons. Stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter and discover hidden features on trending apps on teens' phones and our 54 plus live parent and student-friendly events every single year. You can click on the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. And if you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. You can click the link below to reach out. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.